And so there he was, a stranger in a strange land, so to speak, at the Mayflower Hotel. All of his people who had come with him to work on this project had left. He was at times prone to depression, and he was about as depressed as you could be. And so he went out of his hotel in the early evening and passed by the bar, and he heard all these people jingling the ice in their glasses and so forth, and he felt this terrific urge to go in there and get a drink. And he realized that he was on the edge of the precipice. Norman, the name will come to me after this is all over, gave him a list of people that he could call that were connected with the Oxford group. So he looked over this list and he came across the name Henrietta Seiberling. And he knew all about Seiberling and Goodyear and all that sort of thing. He knew that they were very wealthy, and he thought, oh, I just couldn't possibly call someone, the Seiberling family, out of the blue. But he said, I felt I had to do it, because he was at the precipice. So he did. And of course, the Henrietta Seiberling that he called was not exactly, the bosom buddy of Mrs. F.A. Seiberling. And so he called her, and this is the thing that I think is so wonderful, because when Mother told us afterwards of what he said, it has never left our minds. My sister said the same thing, that it was the most memorable thing, that he called up and said, I'm a rum hound from New York and I have to talk to someone. Those are exactly what he said. And people sometimes add other things that he said. I want to talk to someone from the Oxford group or something like that. But that isn't what he said. He said, I'm a rum hound from New York and I've got to talk to someone. And I think that if Mother had not been in this kind of a change in her outlook on life, she would not have been as open to him. My grandmother also was in the Oxford group, by the way. But of course, as soon as he said that, immediately Bob came into her mind. And she said, well, come right on out. This was in the evening, of course. And so he did come out and had a talk, and he told Mother some of what he had been through and so forth, and right away she said, you've got to talk to my friend Bob Smith, who is in the Oxford group, or was, and he is just what you need. This was a godsend. So she called up Anne and told her that this person was coming, and that, would come and wants to meet Bob. And she said, well, don't know whether she called Anne at night, might be, or whether she called her the next morning. But Bob had been on a binge, and he was, the way one is after a binge, and it was Mother's Day. So to sort of make up for it, he had brought Anne a wonderful plant and everything. And so Anne told Bob, Henrietta wants you to meet someone who came to her house yesterday, and because she is sure that he will be able to help you. And Bob was very resistant. Said, oh, no one can help me, kind of thing. And Anne said, Henrietta wants us to come, and you must go. That's it. So he said, well, okay, I'll go. I won't stay long, but I'll go. So he shows up that morning, Mother's Day, and they go and are introduced, and then they sit in this little room, which we called the library, but that's just because it had one big wall of books and a desk and a chest of drawers and a chair sort of like this. They call it a king's chair. I don't know what it is. And they sat together in this little room and talked for hours. And of course, Mother served them lunch, and then I think they stayed for dinner, and they couldn't stop talking. And then Bob agreed, okay, I'll see how, I'll go along with it.